for this next session, I'd really like to welcome some guests on stage. Please come and join us. Whenever we do these events, you know, one of the things people always ask for is they want to learn what other people are doing, particularly when it comes to new technologies like AI. So I'm really delighted to welcome some guests on the stage that are going to share a bit about their journeys. And, you know, we've got three very different sectors as well that were being represented. So first of all, let's start with you, Nikki. Would you like to do a quick introduction first of all, please?
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name's Nikki North. I'm an intelligent automation product manager. I work for NewDay, which is a financial services provider, and I look after a number of products across RPA, chat, voice, automation and knowledge base.
Brilliant, thank you. Teresa?
Hi everyone, I'm Teresa Astucci. I work for British Airways. I am the head of customer care, customer experience and customer care. Happy to be here.
Vicky?
Hiya, I'm Vicky Williams. I'm head of digital transformation at Benenden Health. So I look after everything digital within customer service through to commercial, all of it, all around the innovation side of things.
Thank you, Vicky. So I guess just as an open question to start with, would you mind sharing with the audience a bit about where you are on your AI journey today? So Nikki, do you mind going first?
Yeah, sure. So we have a small implementation of AI with an agent assist tool that we've built in-house, but we're now embarking on a wide-scale CCaaS transformation to try and bring a lot of our existing chatbot, our voice automation, to bring that all together into an omni-channel experience for our customers.
Yeah, okay. Teresa?
Yeah, we're probably about midway. We've had some AI technology in for about 2 years, which is working really, really well, but we're definitely looking to kind of more put in our springboard almost and accelerate further. So this year is a big transformation year for us, and we're bringing in some really cool tech, which we're looking forward to use. But yeah, definitely on the journey.
Yeah.
And we're in quite a pivotal moment. So we spent the last year or so doing lots of tests and trials and experimentation in siloed use cases. And this year has a huge roadmap around bringing that all together as one big brain across the business.
Brilliant, thank you. So you talked, all sort of mentioned being on this journey with AI. How did you get started, I guess, and what are some of the things that you've done to build your organisations around this evolution that we're seeing at the moment? I guess, do you want to go first, Nikki, again?
Sorry, can you just repeat that?
Yeah, sorry, I was just, how did you get started, and what have you done with your organisation to kind of gear them up to take advantage of AI at the moment?
Yeah, so the first thing we did to get started with AI is we actually we had a hackathon a couple of years ago, and we kind of gave a problem statement, because a lot of people, when we try to start out with AI, it's understanding what's the right use case. So we actually started with a problem statement, and out of that hackathon, we had an agentic agent assist capability that was born out of that. We built it ourselves, we built it in-house, but we basically used our customer service teams, our customer service agents to bring them on the journey with that, because it was direct to them and it was something that they would get a lot of value from. And it's a very sort of basic, ask it a question, it'll go to a knowledge base and return you the answer. But we use that as kind of as a first capability to really bring our contact centre agents into the fold and to kind of bring them on that journey with us.
And how did they react to that? Were they positive and supportive of it when they first came on?
Yeah, really positive with it, because they had a lot of champions that were involved in the deployment of it. And also we've got some really good, I think in our customer services, they're the ones that use it the most, and they give it a helpfulness score of 98%. So it's really, really well received.
That's great.
So we're just rolling it across all of our business areas at the moment, and we're almost complete.
So taking the agents with you was a kind of key learning there to
100%.
make sure people were supportive of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Teresa? How did you get started and kind of...
Yeah, so I guess we've been dabbling our feet for a little while now, probably taking some smaller use cases, proving their value, and now we're looking to scale. Probably the biggest thing for me, though, is about the people. I guess there's like a reflection for me that if we don't bring the people along, we aren't delivering anything. So we've proven the values there, and now as we're trying to scale, it's really that piece where we're trying to make sure that our agents really understand what we're doing, because if no one is there to use it, it's no good delivering it. So definitely focusing on the people is probably our bit at the moment, I'd say.
And have you had to bring in any new roles, or have you had to change what people are doing to kind of exploit what the technology can do?
Yeah, we have, we've got our biggest year of transformation, as I said, and we have absolutely brought in kind of external change management, recognition to, we've got some really great people at BA, but actually that core piece of that change management, if we don't succeed in that, we don't succeed as the program in totality. So that's really, really important that we've done that. And then also like looking at the industry, who can give us, obviously internally we have some really intelligent people who have self-taught themselves on AI, but it's not our forte. So going out and getting industry experts to support us on the journey as well.
Yeah. And Vicky, what about you?
Yeah, so as I said, we started small, siloed. We are quite separate, so our organisation across even B2B and B2C uses different CRMs, so very, very siloed. We do have quite a lot of a push down from executives to get it in, get it out, but actually, as these two have said, all about the people. We recently rolled out Agent Copilot with Genesis, and we took it to 45 agents and re-rolled it back again because we didn't have the buy-in.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of we still have the pace, but it's the right thing to do with the right people at the right time and listening to what people are saying to us. So, and now we've rolled it back and rolled it back out again. It's very successful.
Yeah.
But
what made you roll it back and roll it back out
we
again?
just lost the buy-in from the agents.
Interesting.
So the summarization bits wasn't doing what they did, what they thought it was, and actually we learned a lot from it, that our processes, data and things like that weren't right.
Yeah.
So we didn't have standardized notes.
Yeah.
Big part of it. So we started listening to them. We actually rolled out a model office because of it, which works really well. So part of our rollout this year will be rolling it into a model office, proving it, like Teresa says, getting the agents buy-in, trainers buy-in. So kept the pace, but pulled it back.
That idea of fail fast, if you like, or trialing something but being prepared to roll it back and then take it back out again, was the organisation quite receptive to that? Did that work well?
Yes, because it meant we could keep our pace.
Yeah.
Also the investment, that actually we're okay to say this isn't working, let's stop, let's look at something else. So it means we hit both sides of it.
Yeah. Have you found that in your organisations at all as well? Like, the acceptance of trialling things and maybe rolling back, has that kind of worked okay for?
Yeah, I would definitely say, given the pace of change of technology, things are progressing at different time periods, I guess, and we kind of come up with an idea or something that we want to do. We go on the journey with that, but we've got multiple use cases where we're actively pursuing two different ways of doing it because we're not sure which way is going to land maybe best with either our colleagues or actually which one we're going to get past with our cybersecurity teams potentially. So I think that's just the way we're going to have to work in the future of, like, we know we just want to do something. How we get there, we've just got to be ready to pivot for plan A, B, C, D, probably go back to plan A again, depending on the pace of change. And what we found with a lot of technology, you go to try it, you think it's working, and then actually get to a blocker. It's a similar thing with the Copilot, that something's just not quite right. You've got to go back and really work it out. What is it pulling from? But actually over here, you've got something else to kind of creep forward and leapfrog it. So that's just definitely something, a conversation I have with my teams a lot of. We need multiple ideas, and it is one of those things, we're throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks, just to keep that pace going.
And would you say that's different? Has that changed specifically because of AI, or is it just the acceleration of the technology that's driving that?
Definitely, it's a lot of AI-driven stuff. It's probably not exclusively AI, but a lot of it is AI-related.
Yeah. And you, any thoughts on that as well, Nikki, in terms of change and sort of experimentation?
Yes, absolutely. NewDay does have a really strong culture of innovation and sort of fail fast. So and that's something that was prior to AI as well. So that's kind of across the board with all our technology.
Yeah. So you've always had that kind of mindset to adopt.
Yeah.
What about, what have you learnt about where AI is adding value and maybe where it isn't adding value in your customer service operations today? So maybe Vicky, start with you.
So as a healthcare company, we're quite heavily regulated. So we have some more complex cases where whether AI can in the future, but we have sort of made that conscious decision to say we're not going to touch this at the moment, it's more complex. And we flipped the model to actually what can AI help us do, which is easy, simple, and get that part of the business out the way and help our agents concentrate on more of the complex emotional conversations that we have day to day. So at that point in this point of time, that's where we are. It doesn't mean to say that we might not look to AI to help us with the more complex, even if we're having the right conversations, just to be in the background to help us.
Yeah. Okay. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I think it's one of these things where there is definitely a lot of really good use cases that we're seeing. But for us, it's almost looking at, I'll give a recent example, really simple, but on our social media channels, we put a AI bot on the front, and actually we've seen our containment double overnight, which is amazing. It's great. We're servicing a lot more customers. And what that's kind of meant is you could say our social media teams are quieter. But what we absolutely don't want them to do is we don't want to lose the talent that we've got there. They're a really talented team. And for us, it's about looking at actually we always want to be there for our customers. Take recent disruption you may have read about in the news. We have lost a few bags this weekend and had a few cancelled flights during the week in weather. So in those really difficult moments for customers, we absolutely need our human agents there and available. So all that's kind of done is free up those agents to be able to service customers who really need us. But what we're looking to do is pivot our organization to be a lot more proactive in those situations. So because we're containing and the AI has been really successful, that's great. We don't stop there. We're now saying to our agents, well, great, well, if you've got available time, we want you proactively looking on the social channels to see where someone hasn't necessarily tagged us or started a conversation, but has said, oh, I've lost my golf clubs, whatever it is. They're going to a golf competition, whatever it is, they can proactively reach out and solve that customer's problem before they bother to come through to us. So that's kind of how we're trying to shift.
Interesting. So essentially it is allowing you to have more conversations with customers, you're being more proactive, you're kind of using it as a service accelerator as opposed to reducing cost.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah, Nikki, what about you?
So at the moment we're kind of we've got our agent assist tool that's in, and we're exploring what our future use cases will be because we're doing our CCAS transformation, which is kind of a little bit of a step back at the moment. So we've had to slow down some of that progress because the CCAS platform's really an enabler for us.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're focusing on at the minute, is getting those foundations in.
Yeah.
First.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about measuring the impact of AI? Do you have any specific kind of top-down metrics that you track, or are there any? How do you measure whether it's successful or not? In terms of either productivity or customer service, are there any specific things that you track there at all?
So for the agent assist tool, it's all about the colleague engagement with it.
Yeah.
We are tracking some capability, or some KPI, should I say, around our new agents and their speed to certification. Yeah. So how long it's taken them for them to be kind of fully capable. And we've seen that reduce with the introduction of our tool. As for sort of wider use cases, that's something that we're really kind of exploring as how we're going to track that when our CCAS platform goes live. Yeah. Yeah, because our phase one of our platform is basically our chat capability, but because we have conversational AI today, and because we have an LU and intent capture today in our current platform, there isn't really much business benefit. It's more of an enabler to move towards that omnichannel goal. Right. So yeah, when we move into our voice implementation, which will give us a much bigger increase in our containment rates and things, that's when we're going to need to really lock down what those KPIs are, how we can measure that success. So we're working through that at the moment. Yeah, really interesting. So basically it's improving your employee well-being or employee satisfaction, which is quite an interesting use case. You don't often hear that one. So what about you, Teresa? How do you...
we're quite regimented on our KPIs. And bringing in some of the AI tools, there is always benefit that we need to put in to get the business case passed. So I know AHT is a bit of a polarized subject in the industry, but we still really look at it for our efficiency of our agents. So when we're looking at kind of auto summarization and next best action and agent assistance tools, absolutely it is on the AHT we want to see that reduced from. So potentially today, we've got over 1,000 different knowledge articles, different policies, over 50 that are related to cancellations I've learned recently. And actually that makes it really quite challenging for agents today if they need to go in and search in the tool. But in the AI world, having it pop up automatically is an AHT reduction. So that is one that we measure really, really closely. Containment, of course, if you've got it on the front end. But I guess one approach that we are taking this year, because we are going through this big transformation program, is we're looking at alleviations on all of our metrics for agents. So instead of saying, okay, well, we're still going to manage you. So if you're not doing a good job, we'll still manage you. But instead of paying your performance-related pay based on our standard contact centre metrics, we want to kind of waive that effectively for a period of 6 months and say, actually, you know what, you guys on the ground, you're doing a really good job, we've given you new tech, all we really want you to do is use it. I don't really care what your handling time is. I do care, but that's what I'm going to say to them. Like, really, actually, success for me looks like they're using it. Because the worst thing is that we lose the engagement, and they're like, oh, well, you know what? I've got a new tool, and actually, that's stopping me almost achieving the goals that you've set. And we said, no, forget that. We'll pay you the average that we paid you for the last year, whatever it is we're going to settle on. And instead, all you need to do is use the tool. So we're taking that approach as something a bit different this year.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, a bit like Teresa, we have a business case. I've been really lucky this year, so alongside my business case, I've been given the autonomy to do the test and trial, so we're treating each one differently in regards to metrics, how we measure it. So we'll roll something out, well, we won't roll it out, we'll test and trial it, understand the impact it might have. So it could be AHT, it could be deflections to our digital channels, it could be anything, and we'll decide based on what the actual technology it is. So for example, we've got voice spot, we looked at deflection, we got some other measures that we weren't counting on, and then when we go to roll it out, we'll do a period of embedding, so we actually give it 8 weeks to allow AHT to go up and this and that, but also that can change depending on the technology.
Yeah.
And then we'll prove it. So in that test and trial, we actually set the metrics we're going to measure, and it's worked really well so far this year. It's allowed us to be a bit flexible with that and not put so much pressure on the agents when we're trying to understand what it is.
Brilliant, thank you. I think we are just out of time, but one very quick last question, if it's okay. Just if you could share in a couple of sentences, what would you advise someone starting out on their AI journey today?
So I think I would advise, just do something.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of value to be had if you've got a small use case. It doesn't have to be a massive business case. It doesn't have to be an end-to-end transformation. It could just be a part of a journey as well.
Right.
That you think, if you target where you've got a problem, where you've got, lots of complaints, or where you've got high demand, if you just focus on one part of a journey and prove that out, it proves the value, it brings everybody on board, and you can kind of use that as your springboard to say, actually, this is going to be used, it's going to be accepted by our agents, we can see it will deliver value, and you can use that then to focus on what you want to do next. So just do something.
Just do it.
Just do something.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, Teresa?
For me, it's probably don't assume it's going to be perfect.
Right.
Day one, it is not perfect. We've got a bit of a model. It's a bit silly, but we've got these little clouds, the AI clouds, and it's like the AI is on a journey. It's been born in BA. It's been at school. It's been to university, and now we're just about to launch it into its first job. It is not a fully established end-of-life kind of thing. Like, it might make mistakes, but it is learning, and we're teaching it, and that's kind of a model that we're using to talk to our agents about. Like, when you see it, there might be some funnies, or like it might do something silly. Don't let that undermine your confidence in it. It is still learning, so that's something that we've been pushing a lot on at the moment.
Brilliant. So just do it. Don't assume it's going to be perfect.
And get your people's buy-in.
Getting people's buy-in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for our panellists joining us today. I think you'll be around a bit later if we want to catch up with you, so thank you very much.